Alrighty. Doc from the free country of America. We have had our election, and we elected Mr. Trump, and it looks like a major sweep. Just, the people, the working class, people who are, go to work every day and earning a living and don't suck off the tit of the government, basically said, we've had enough. We've had enough. No mas. No mas. Anyhow, so here we are. Another morning, another day. You can see the bonds are trading higher. You can see the look at that. You can see the dollar index lifting up very strong this morning because interest rates are still rising in the states here, and at the same time, the Federal Reserve will be lowering the rate tomorrow, and that's really what it comes down to. Oh, there you go, Robin. Good morning. Let's see. You were saying something about the chat line. I'm going to put a hi up there and see what happens there. Yep, my hi got through. So, one of the big things about the markets, the way they're moving, the stock market's roaring. The Russell 2000 is zooming to the moon. And pretty much now we start to think again we can start being American again instead of this globalism, socialism thing that's been going on with the Democrats. And let's see if, it seems like people like the idea of basically being able to earn money and grow and not get fed crumbs from the government. That's really what it comes down to. All right, and so the dollar index, you can see there, is in the weekly buy again, as usual, for a bunch of days and weeks now, and the daily is in a buy, and it's pushing and pushing and pushing. We're, right now with interest rates rising here in the States, at the same time the Federal Reserve, it just shows you, unfortunately, how out of control the Federal Reserve is. They're lowering interest rates officially, and the market is laughing at it and going, no. You didn't recognize for a year and a half 9% inflation. You kept on telling everybody, no problem, it's going to go away. And here they are. They're paying those prices, and people don't like that. They don't like government overspending. They don't like being part of this charade, like a fake. It's like a mask, that They tell you that things are all good. I heard money managers this morning still saying it. Oh my goodness, things are still good. They're still great. It's like, it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. They're trying to tell us how good things are when in fact they're not that good at all. The government has been growing the jobs, and they unfortunately, the government is feeding the stats and the numbers, and they're not really that real. And that is that. The victory is ours. It's a golden age in America, and we're going to get away from all this crazy stuff, and the markets are going to constantly now look forward, not backwards. No more socialism. And good morning to you. And so, bingo, bingo, bango, bongo. So, that's where we stand. So let's jump over to the euro. See what the euro is up to. And I'll give you yellow afterwards. And so, let's see what the euro is doing. I saw the euro was being pushed down last night and yesterday. As much as they were trying to, what was interesting is the cable was rising up. It wasn't bad, the cable. Let's see, where is it at? Let's open up that page. Let's get the euro up on the screen. Open Sesame. There we are. Maybe we can get away from having all these crazy little conflicts here and there too now with Mr. Trump in office. He's not a big, Mr. Trump grew up with a uniform on for 4 years. He was the top of his class at the military academy. and he realized he wanted to make love, not war, be in business, and so that's where he is today. And thank goodness. Look at that! Look at that slam bam! Thank you, ma'am, on the euro, and he had the green and the red yesterday too. Boy, talk about being able to put the straddle on at the right time in the right place. Right there, there's the euro, getting smackadoodled, getting smackadoodled. What else can we say about that? Now, yesterday, let's see. I'm more curious. You can still see there. It's in that weekly sell over there, so that's not really changing any. But let's take a look at how they did the same thing with the cable. The cable's getting smacked. Now, it went into the buy yesterday. Let's steal one of these buys. Went into the buy yesterday right there. And today, it's in a weekly sell, so you couldn't take the buy, but I was really cheering it on. It was like, yeah, go, 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 climb, 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 But, nah, it's still in that situation. We've been in a weekly sell now for a while. Where's the spreadsheet at? There's the spreadsheet. You can see, I can see, we all can see. Right there, there's cable. Cable is 5 weeks in a sell, 1 day in a buy. So we're in a neutral, and then you get smacked. The product gets smacked, but if you're following Doc's work, the odds are you didn't get smacked. Yeah. So, let's see. From there, we zip over to the Swiss. And boy, have they done a good job at figuring that one out, Let's see, where do we got here? Swiss, you can see, it's showing the strength there, which means it's losing against the dollar, of course. And, it's in the weekly buy. It tried to get into a sell, but just could not. It's still in that daily buy now for a couple of days. So, obviously, there's the winner, chicken dinner. Really like the way the Swiss do things. So, wow, it's at 87, not 97, Wow, and our election was basically it was basically about inflation in the economy and labor and illegal aliens. In other words, that where the South African government many moons ago took the turn to the left and gave illegal aliens half a vote, and they counted as half a vote. And here in America, we realized that destroyed South Africa. It had nothing to do with race. It had all to do with just leftist points of view. And then the ANC, in the end result, was just the more dominant socialist organization in the end. And so here in America, yesterday, we took a right turn where you become legal and you got skin in the game, as we like to say. And so that's unfortunately the story there. We're seeing that now. Where the Swiss fighting that inflation, fighting bad economics, and they're looking beautiful about it. They'll stall out around in here. Let's see what the trend. We can put up. Let's put a wider view of it. But the trend is basically right in here. Let's throw a line in there so you can see what we're talking about. Right there. You see that? It's playing with that trend. It's bouncing around on it. I don't think it'll get much higher. I'd be surprised if we got up to past, say, that point there where there was resistance. But we'll keep those lines in there for the time being and see what's going on, Maybe we'll make them change the colors on them. And we'll keep an eye on that. Oh, we just put, let's see, something like that. There we go. Let's make them deep. Like that. There we are. So we'll keep, that would be, we're looking at this low here. We're looking at the challenge there that failed. We're looking at this high here, the support there. That's how you end up picking supports and resistances. You go and look in the past. And so, we'll figure that they'll bounce around. I don't think it's going to get up to 90. But now that we have gone back to free markets, free people, and gotten rid of our socialists, it looks like, we'll have a better, clearer understanding of it all. A sip of the tea for the first time today. That felt good. That was hot. Let's not burn my finger. There we are. I would say that, the Swiss will stumble along, maybe push a little bit higher just because of, the way bonds are trading here in the States. Let me just show you what the bond market looks like. Where is it at? Right there. There's the bond market right there. Nice big spike down again. They're gonna, and at the same time, think about this. When this is going down, that means that interest rates are rising, and the Federal Reserve is trying to be the adult in the room. They're failing at it enormously. Maybe this is the support area right there. Let's take a look at it again. Yeah, maybe that could be. We could probably somewhere around in here when it comes to the bond yield. Something like that, right around in there. Let's see if we can find anything else in there. Well, you can see that it hit the resistance there. It seems to have tried to support here. Maybe we'll get just a little bit lower. Let's change that to a purple also, like that, or a deep blue, I guess you could say. And what we're probably seeing now is the market define interest rates, not the Federal Reserve. What a tutorial! What a true economic tutorial this is, where policies govern economy. I mean, we say it all the time, but the media tells you that we're wrong. They're always telling us we're wrong. We're wrong. We're not wrong. Policies always govern the economy. Policies always do. Taxes. Imagine if they didn't charge you taxes anymore. All of a sudden, how more comfortable would you be living if you weren't being punished with taxes? Because do they really give you much more than what you already have? Not really. So you can see here, I think that the bond traders are, let me explain it in simple mathematical terms. Inflation is basically around the 3% area. So bonds should be about 4 3/4. And let's put bonds up on the let's put up the bonds on one of the screens here, and you'll see what I'm saying. And you'll see the list of, government bonds, and there we are right there. So let's put this over here. There we are. All right, now let me put my cheater glasses on so I can see what I'm looking at. And so you can see right here, the 1 month is yielding 4.618. Well, I said it should be about 4.75. If you have inflation at 3%, if not more, that's the core rate that the Federal Reserve claims they care about. So if that's at 3%, then the inflation rate, or let's say the interest rate, should be at least 5%, at 1.5, 2, something like that, over the 3. So that's 4.5 or 4 3/4. I mean, 2% basically would be 5%. Now you can see here, the 2 month is yielding 6.19. So they're basically telling, see it like that right there. I like that. That's right. I can click on it. So it's yielding 4.619, basically 0.462. Now the Federal Reserve is down at 4% on an official 10-year rate, and we're going to see that tomorrow get lowered down to 3 3/4. So what they're doing is they're instigating more inflation. We keep on trying to tell them that. They don't seem to want to listen. And that's the most irritating thing out of it all. Now, let's take a look at, there's the 10-year. And it's yielding 4.4, basically 4.4. Okay, not bad. I mean, it's okay. This is probably, we'll have to see, but this could be the bottom end of the range. In other words, now we'll start to see interest rates. They'll drop the interest rates a quarter point tomorrow, and then they'll start, looking at policies. They'll be looking at the House of Representatives. As long as the Republicans hold the House of Representatives, it looks like it'll be moving along. It looks like they'll pick up 2 more seats, and it looks like they'll pick up Pennsylvania and was it Montana. So that'll be 53 in the Senate, and there's a small chance they get 54. It's not bad. I think we're probably long as inflation starts to follow the pathway of the Swiss bankers, where they go and they make sure that that it doesn't escalate and they stop some of this crazy spending. We're going to see a really positive economy down the road. So, I mean, there's a lot of problems they've been hiding. They've been hiding a lot of problems, the left in our country, for a long while. Not just 2 or 3 or 4 years, but dozens of years. Dozens. We haven't passed a budget in this country, I don't know when. It's called an omnibus spending bill. The Democrats refused to, pay each department their money. They put it in a big pile and say, go ahead, take what you need. That's not the way to be fiscally responsible. So it's not, and it's against the law too at the same time. But they've been doing it, and there's no stopping it. Now, after yesterday, it looks like they're going to be stopping it. So this is impressive when you really think about it, that we're not seeing, bonds trading at 5.5 or 6. Because, that would tell, and bonds will now more reflect real inflation. And that's good. There was talk about it last night. People are tired in the financial industry to hear good numbers, how great everything is. And then you go to the store and you can't get things cheap anymore. You go to put fuel in your machines and it costs a heck of a lot more than double of what it used to cost, no more than 4 years ago. It keeps on going on and on and on like that. And all the job growth disappears every other month. They revise it again down, and it's like, wait a minute, I thought we're doing great. And I heard money managers this morning, they sing that song constantly. Oh, we got a great economy, and the employment numbers, I'm hearing that this morning again. It's like, are you listening to yourself? The job growth in this country over the last 9 quarters, in other words, 2 years and 3 months, have been government jobs, not private sector. That means 0 of gain. 0. It means nothing except for the individual working for government, because the economy doesn't grow from it, because government doesn't grow economy. It's policies and people that grow the economy, not the giveaways and the fake economy. It comes and bites you and hurts you in the end. So, anyway, there's the example there, and that's why we see over here, this might be towards the bottom end of its range now. And we may, it's not even at 475 where it really should be. They're in many ways, as we say it on the trading floor, they're giving it a haircut. They're discounting it. So they're saying, you know what, we're adjusting, cleaning, this is a new page. We're just cleaning and adjusting it. And now what it'll come down to is the next stop basically is possibly up in price, down in yield. And that's probably where we're at. All right, traders, from there, let's jump over to the currencies again. And let's take a look at the yen. See how the yen acted from this action. It closed in a daily buy yesterday, I believe. Let's see what it is there. Yep, daily buy yesterday. So let's grab a green line instead of inventing one. And it's in a weekly buy. So, that made sense there that it's lifting like that. And that's the yen. let's see what they did with the Nikkei. I saw this morning someone said something about the Pacific Rim and the action that we were seeing there, and let's put it up on the beta. But as I understand it, the it was up. In other words, they were buying the stocks. Yeah. You can see it there. It's pushed into the buy. Let's show you on the other screen. Let's go to the beta, which you can get for free for a couple weeks. Just contact us here. Give Robin a call. There's our phone number. There's our website right there. You can see that. ChicagoQuantTechnologies.com. Chicago Quant Technologies. And you can get the platform for free for a few weeks. Let's see, let's go like this. Let's get rid of that off the screen. Let's show you again. Thank you, Dukascopy, for having us every day. We love talking about the markets, and Dukascopy has been a great friend letting us do that. Free speech. And there it is, Dukascopy. And they've got a great calendar, too. Economic calendar. They have a nice platform, and they have an economic calendar, and they're a discount broker, and good guys and gals. I saw Gitta. If Janos, you're listening, I saw Gitta came across my LinkedIn. She's really rolling along. If you see Polina, tell her I said hi. All right. So there it is right there. You can see the Tokyo lifted up from that news. And at the same time, you can see we are now starting to flirt with a weekly buy. Cool. Get back in the saddle again. It was curious after we get done looking at these. No, you know what? Let's do this. We go over to the Great Experiment. We'll finish this off. But I saw, watching the markets last night all the way to early morning, with the election going, being described and in the numbers coming in, I saw them selling down copper. As I always say, copper is it's connected to China. There's no doubt about it. Copper and China, just march together. And you can see, here you go. You can see this is, wow. Hey, maybe there's going to be a golden age for Turkey. Wouldn't that be nice? I think it's more because of the way the yen is getting clocked this morning. But you know what? A cheaper Turkish lira is a good thing for the population. Inflation is a horrible thief. There's no doubt about it. All right. And then from there, we shoot over to the South African Rand. It's popping up, and we would assume, we've talked about this, Mr. Trump gets in. I was thinking that we'll see weakness in the metals complex. Again, it'll come down to policies. Good policies versus bad policies. And you can see here, they're jacking it this morning. When this is going down, it means it's gaining against the dollar. When it's going up, it means it's losing against the dollar. And it was trying to go down. And then they weren't obviously anticipating what I was talking about. And let's go like this. Let's go like this. There's the South African Rand. Let's go take a look at gold. And there is gold right there. You see it's moving down. And maybe, like I said, I think buy the platinum, sell the gold might be the spread now. And then let's go see platinum. Right there. We didn't show you the gold. There's platinum. Platinum's getting smackadoodled too. And there's the gold right there. It's still in a weekly buy. I guess they'll digest some of this. Maybe they'll, I guess when it comes, remember we're at all-time highs. So it's always a challenge to pick channels, tops and resistances when you're constantly flirting with all-time highs. So we'll see how they back and fill this, take some profits, and then let's go back to the platinum again. You can see the platinum there, same situation, goes into the buy. It was trying to get into the weekly buy too. Get rid of that. It's in the weekly sell now as we speak. It's showing the pressure on there again. We'll have to see, but I would think as time goes on, the better the policies economically and financially for the markets globally and domestically, we'll start to see platinum gain value against the gold again. We'll start to see that. And then from there, let's take a look at silver. And there's silver. Silver doing the same thing. It's been in that weakness on the daily, and now they're smacking it down more and more and more. I thought I had a red line there. There we are. There we go. I could have sworn I had a red there. So there's the silver. It's feeling its pain also at the same time. And what else can we say about silver? It was really neat that it went to 35. We were really hoping to see it get up into the 40s. This thing is unfortunately, 56 I think is all-time high. It's $25, $24 away from it. It's a lot, It's a big percentage. All right, now from there, we zip over. That's the metals. So I guess we can say we are done the metals. Let's go take a look at the energies, and then from the energies, we'll have a conversation about the title today of what we want to call this. I think we'll start off with Brent. Let's see what Brent looks like to start off with. Let's put it up on the screen. There's Brent. Breaking down a little bit this morning. You can see it's still a green dot. It's still in the buy. It's flirting with the weekly buy. It's doing all that stuff. You can see that there. We can make it. I guess we should go this way with it, right? Yeah, move it over to make it underneath. You see it was watching, following the strength, and, it's cleanly through. That's the thing, is that when a green line gets through the manifold, that can be very powerful. It's usually like a 98, 99% chance it closes in the weekly buy. And they may. They need to clean up this Persian. It's not even Persian. It's the Iranian problem, because in many ways it doesn't feel like they're Persians doing it. It's the Iranians, especially the Arab Iranians. It seemed like they seem to have, ever since they got rid of the Shah of Iran in the 70s, it seems like they've been just like on this mission to turn the world one flavor. And it's just Mr. Trump had this under control, and Mr. Biden didn't, and now you have all these people killing each other, and it's very unfair. Don't people want to just make love, make business, live a good life, have children? That's what love's all about to begin with. It's like all this killing seems to be ridiculous. You want to live under Sharia law? Go live underneath it. Just don't make me live underneath it. That's what it really comes down to. All right, now from there, let's take a look at crude oil. And we did see yesterday, we saw how Aramco looked really good. They had their earnings out, and their processed or refining was down 15%, but overall the price has been fine for them. You can see here there's West Texas. Let's see how the algorithm's going on that. It's getting down low. We'll see by the end of the day. And then you can see here, again, this could be a big turning point now that Mr. Trump is in the saddle again. So that could be the. We'll see how that plays out. But like I said, make love, not war. That's the way I see it. All right, and then from there we'll go over to heating oil and see what they're doing with the fuel, the refined product off of crude oil, which powers all the airplanes in the skies, and it powers the trucks on the roads and certain vehicles and so forth. You can see here, still in a buy, still climbing into that weekly. And so over the next 2 weeks, I would expect a little digestion of the success and see how the House of Representatives goes, and then we'll go from there. But overall, it looks kind of positive to me. So from there, now we'll go take a look at nat gas. Here's natural gas right there. Let's see what they're doing there. They're pushing it down. They did more yesterday than today. Today seems to be almost stalled. And you can see here the weekly, it's trying to climb into that weekly buy. Matter of fact, it's pressing against the manifold even. And daily buy for a couple days now. We'll see how that rolls over. It's trading at $2.68 at the moment. And the low was $2.51 in this December contract. And we'll see now how that starts to, Mr. Trump is very pro drill baby drill, Don't freeze to death in the winter. Make it cheap to drive your machines and tractors and cars, Make it cheaper for buying food. All these things are derivatives off of this particular chart. And then from there, we take a look at the two companies, two stocks we look at. We look at the energy company down in Spain. You see that it's been really reading this well, hasn't it? It keeps on falling. Let's hope Europa is feeling that pleasure from it, or is a reduction of cost of energy. And as you can see there, it's been in the daily sells for days and days and days. And same thing on the weekly buy. It's been in a weekly sell now for, what is that? At least 6 weeks there. So then from there, we go to ExxonMobil. We'll go to the stock in the United States and see what they're doing this morning, because they refine and produce oil and they do the whole bit, like that Spanish company. You see, it's lifting up a little bit more firm, but in sells here on the algorithm. And it's been in a weekly sell for 3 weeks. Let's see how they turn it. Remember, you can't really be long for that green dot solely because we're in weekly sells. So, just show you to you like this. There you are. Alrighty. So, from there, we dance our way over to... Where do we dance our way over to? We go over to... okay, that's it. That's the energy. So we're done that. No one seems to have asked any questions. And so, Beta, our new platform. Yeah, Robin was saying that the chat line... I'll have to talk to Giannis about that. Sounds like the chat line disappears over it's there, then it's not. So from there, what else do we got brewing here? Let's go to look around the neighborhood. Let's see what... I saw some of the Pacific Rim stocks exchanges taking some pain. So let's take a look at... here you go, Robbins. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Notice I just...
It's working now. You misspelled
Can you...
Beta, our new platform.
Yeah.
You need to redo that.
No, I'm not redoing anything. I just wanted to see if it would actually take it. That's all I was worried about.
I got it to work somehow. It came up and I started using it. Now
Good.
I'm copying what I put up there so I can just copy.
I'm not seeing anybody asking questions. If someone's asking a question, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anybody asking questions.
So from there, you can see Shanghai was kind of flattish, so that's not bad. It's in the buy. It's a buy here. Maybe they'll start to think about making love, not war. Maybe they'll start trying to grow their economy. You never know. From there, we'll jump over to Taipei. Let's see what Taipei looks like this morning. Where is it? Taipei, right there. Oh, there was talk this morning of, was it, I want to say Coleco, not Coleco, Qualcomm. Qualcomm possibly buying Intel now. I mean, Intel's trading at like $24, $25 a share now, and they're moving it out of the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and they're going to put in NVDA, Nevada. So that's because of the election. And so, we're going to start to see economic growth. We like that. And you can see here's Taipei in a weekly sell still for a second week, but in a daily buy now for four full days. So that pressure is still on the on the markets there, going up after some of these highs. So that's cool. From there, let's check out South Korea. Right there, there's the Kospi. Now, Kospi was sold off a little bit last night. You see that. And it's in a buy, though, still. But it's in a weekly sell, so we're not long that bounce, that buy right there. We're just flat. It's a flat position at this point. Now, let's jump over to the title today. I want to put up another story on here that I found very interesting. And let me put it up there first before I start rambling about it. Where was it at? Oh, it's right here. That's it, right there. And I accidentally closed it, too, at the same time. It's about the BRICS. And, I'll be real sad if we've lost it. Here it is right there. Look at this. This is pretty cool. You got India and you got China, and I'm not sure where that gentleman's from. They'll say on here somewhere. And then you got Mr. Putin, and I'm not sure where that gentleman is from. Oh, you know what? This guy in the center is probably South Africa. That's probably what it is. And, just as the Premier League has the Premier League, and then you have the Championship League, and then you have, second division, third division, fourth division. The world economy probably should be the same way in many ways. You have industrialized nations, you have emerging nations. China is considered an emerging nation still. It actually gets foreign aid from the United States, like a developing country. It's in the developing country category still. So that's why I always say it's like an angry colony. And so, I'm a supporter of the BRICS. Let the BRICS be the BRICS. Let them come up with a new way of, delivering capital or currency or whatever. Let them do. And if they succeed, they succeed. And if they fail, they fail. They've been trying to clarify that note that Mr. Putin put out. Is it an arbitrage that we can play, or is it just a note in name, and it's very hard to transact? Maybe in the beginning, these weaker countries, economically and politically, start to learn what real economics is, not the fake stuff that they've been living by for over 100 years now. And that would be very positive in the end. I mean, that really would be very, very positive. So, I look at that, and, I just hope that, it just keeps on going like that, And so let's do this now. Let's do this. And the answer to it is title. We'll go like that. And there it is, title. Today. And, the BRICS, we started off right from the beginning that the election is bringing real markets, free people. That's really what it comes down to. Free people, free markets. That's the title today. Free people, free markets. And let the BRICS be the BRICS. Let them grow. Let them learn about real economics. And, once they try to do a note and they have a currency and they start trading between each other and it works, that's great. And if it doesn't work, they go back to the drawing board and figure out a new way. Now, I have not seen a conversion factor. People have been asking about it. Matter of fact, this is really interesting. This article in particular goes back to a book that Zbigniew Brzezinski wrote in '97. He was our Secretary of Defense, I believe. And, it was called The Global Chessboard, American Primacy and Its Geostrategic Imperatives. I'm not totally, big on him because I didn't like the way his economics were. He was Jimmy Carter's Secretary of Defense back in the '70s, I believe. And he wrote that book. And, that was during the Bill Clinton years that he wrote that book. And he'd been out of government for 15, 20 years at that point. But what it really comes down to, free markets and free people. And when you have less government and you allow people to make their own decisions, they gain or they lost or they win or they lose, and then they start over again. That's what incorporations are all about. That's what bankruptcy is all about. You start over. What is it? You ever hear of Kentucky Fried Chicken? The originator of Kentucky Fried Chicken, after almost committing suicide in his 60s and being bankrupt once or twice, tried again, and he got Kentucky Fried Chicken this time going right, and before you know it, he was a billionaire, and at the age of 70. I mean, you never know. When you have given the opportunity to grow, and if you have an idea and you fail at it, you start over again until you finally get it to work right. And that is really where we stand at the moment. That is it. It is really that. And so at this point, what we're trying to do is we're trying to, let the bricks be the bricks. Let them figure it out. And maybe one day they'll be in the Premier League. They'll get capitalism right, and maybe they'll teach us something down the road. Right now, all they're doing is teaching us that they don't understand economics. So let them explore it. Let them learn it. Let them try. But I really thought this was great. The BRICS Summit should mark the end of a neocon delusion. And that's really what it comes down to. It's these global socialists. What had happened? I guess one of the worst things that happened out of all of the Soviet Union and so forth was that the American socialists got power. That's what probably in the end result. I remember in 1980 when Mr. Reagan was elected, and I remember Ted Kennedy. He was a Democrat senator, and he wrote an editorial in the New York Times telling the Soviets at the time, "Don't worry, we can control him." And we're more on your side than his side, and things like that. These were elected officials for a very, very long time. Our socialists have been running this country more than people realize. At one time we had taxes up to 73%, 73% on the average person, 73%. Now you had an enormous amount of deductions, but still, the idea that the government would take 73% of your pay is insane. President Roosevelt during World War II, his Vice President Wallace, was a registered communist. They removed him going into the '44 election because Roosevelt was very ill, and they were worried that he would die and we would have a communist now running our nation. And so the Democrats put Mr. Truman in and removed Mr. Wallace. And then Mr. Wallace ran on the communist ticket the following year. And so, our leftists are even more crazy than your leftists because why? Because we are very wealthy. And so we have the ability to do a lot of things that other communists don't have a chance to do. Most communists have to kill their opposition. And now that's why we're seeing the election the way we got it, is that our leftists were trying to throw Mr. Trump into jail over nothing and put him in jail for 700 years. And so, money does strange things to some people. That's what it comes down to, especially when you're a socialist at the same time. All right, so from there, where do we go from there? From free people to free markets, we jump over back to the, let's go take a look at Hong Kong, see what Hong Kong's up to. The Hang Seng, as we saw copper getting knocked down, Let's see what Hang Seng is doing. There it is right there. Now, it was down yesterday, whereas Shanghai was flat. Let's see what kind of pressure they put on it. You can see it's in the buy for 2 days. Well, they're not actually. Yeah, I guess that's what it is right there. That's in a buy for a few days. But we're in weekly sells now for 4 weeks. So it's a flat position at the moment. From there, we go over to. We were looking at Jakarta because of their oil production. So let's get that up on the screen. Right there. You see the pressures on that because, I mean, oil prices are going to come down. You get to the second week in a sell. It's been in a daily sell for 10 days now. So a lot of pressure on that. And then, let's just jump. Let's see what the Nifty 50 is doing because Nifty 50, basically India is going to be. Oh, look at that! It's moving up nice again. Nifty 50, I think, could be a real guiding light to the BRICS. Could give them some real stability over time. Give them some good ideas how this all should work. In the end result. I really do. I think that's the winner chicken dinner. And we'll see. Would be nice to see that. I mean, it's a commonwealth. It's got a great educated workforce. I mean, you can see in our politics here in the United States, the vice president of the United States to be now, his wife is Indian descent. You can see Vivek Ramaswamy. He's second generation American. His family's from India. And he's right. He'll be a. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do in the administration, but he is definitely he speaks for the president, and he's on the campaign trail constantly with him, and he was running for president. So, the Indian culture in the United States is really taken. And you got to figure that the vice presidential candidate was not an African American. She was Indian descent. Her mother was originally Indian. So they just happen to be slave owners in Jamaica, in Brownville. And so, but they played her as a black woman, but she's really Indian descent. So, I mean, that culture is becoming very predominant in our society, just the way Latinos are. In other words, they're capitalists, and they believe in free markets, free people. They believe in the Constitution. They believe in the rule of law. That's the only way to make economics go. Make it work. So we'll be watching that Nifty 50 like we always do. Let's go from there over to Saudi Arabia, and we'll go take a look at Aramco. Last I looked, Aramco was doing well yesterday. Let's see what they're doing today. Let's see, where's Aramco? There it is. There's Aramco, and let's see what they're doing with that. There it comes. See, it's holding up firm because what they're hoping for is peace. Matter of fact, there was some Arab and Muslim leadership in Michigan. They came out for Trump because Trump says, "I want peace. I don't want war." And that is exactly what it really comes down to. War makes it hard to do business. Only the few benefit from it. War is no good for business and growing families and living a life and, the whole bit, So Aramco looks very firm there this morning because now they got Trumpy. Trump gets along with them just fine. From there, let's see what the metals manufacturer in Saudi Arabia is doing also. Let's see, Aramco. Right there, it is. Here is National Metal Manufacturing in Saudi Arabia. And it looks a little firm. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I can see that the algorithm's turning plus. See, it's trying to dig its heels in lots of red dots. And when we go down to the weekly, you can see we've been in weekly sells now for 4 weeks. but it's trying to climb up. You can see the green line getting through the manifold. You can see the fast on a curve up. That's about it I can say, but we'll see how tomorrow brings it. And then at the same time, you can see the algorithm today, there it is right there, getting through the zero line. It's trying to turn up also. So we're seeing that strength there. You look, make love, not war. I mean, that's really, I mean, that could have been the title today. I mean, honestly, free people, free markets, make love, not war. That's exactly what it comes down to. So then from there, we slide over to Rocket's Red Glare, as I like to call it, the Tel Aviv exchange. Let's see what they're doing there. I mean, this thing's been climbing with all that noise and all those bombs and all the crazy. You can see at the same time, look at that. They've been, Iran has been firing ballistic missiles at them, hundreds of them, and drones, and it's climbing. In other words, people are still buying there. They think, hey, and you can look at it on the weekly basis. Look at that. 5 solid weeks in a buy at this point. So it's been reading that upwardly move. Now you can see right here on the daily intra, whereas we're green dots, it's been in a buy now since this spot right here. Let's show you how that works. See all these green dots, and we went into the buy on the 28th, and there's the 29th. Okay, so we went into the buy on the 29th with a green dot and a bar that's up right there, the 29th. So it went into the buy there, and it's been in the buy ever since. Even with the histogram minus, it's in green dots. Now, if it had been red dots, then it puts it into a daily sell, and a weekly buy makes it neutral. But with green dots and it being in a buy already and the weekly buy, it keeps it in the daily buy still. And that's how the math works. So if you are interested in the platform, just give us a yell. Hello. Hello, hello. There we are. All right. So from there, from Tel Aviv, we're going to jump over to, let's start off with, let's go to Italy and take a look at that FTSE MIB and see what they're doing there. Let's see, where is it at? Scroll, scroll, and scroll. And it's the FTSE, there it is right there. I think it's traded on the Milan exchange. And you can see like right there, you can see some strength. You see it's in a buy, daily buys, but it's still playing with that weekly sell. So it's a neutral position at the moment. Let's see how the DAX looks out of this whole thing. Earlier today, I saw the DAX had been up from the election. So let's take a peek at that. There's the DAX in a daily buy for 3 days. Again, stuck in that neutral situation because we have weekly sells. So it's just telling us don't be short. Don't be long, don't be short, just be neutral. And then we go over to the FTSE in London. See what the FTSE in London's doing this morning. And then I'll give you a view of what the American stock market's doing, and we're going to get out of here. Oh, okay, look at that. London, 3 days in a row now in a buy, but unfortunately 3 weeks in a sell, so it's in a neutral. You're not short, you're not long, you're just flat. And for you gamma traders, then you understand what I'm talking about. For those that don't understand binaries and options, it's like, oh, he's speaking crazy words, puts and calls and straddles and gamma and delta, theta. All right, and then from there we are going to say goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen. All right, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you all tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday, right? We're on Happy to Hump Day already. So tomorrow is Thursday. So we will see you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So Doc is saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. Ta-ta for now.